Hey, welcome to 23 Degrees Sideways. Here we have a NOCO Genius Gen 5 X2. So what this is this is a battery charger that runs two banks. It has two banks. It runs 5 amps each bank. It's great for small Group 24 lead acid batteries. Basically what we're doing here. There's a problem. Okay, so if I turn on the second bank, it goes into an error mode. Now, this is not listed as an error mode in the manual, on the website, anything. But this is what it's doing. It's going flashing to the 25%, and then it goes bang. Now, if you put it to AGM mode, it does the same thing. If you put it to lithium mode, which is different circuitry inside the NOCO, it doesn't. In fact, as you watch this video, it's going to go up and probably read full charge in just a moment. Now, of course, this isn't great for your lead acid battery to be run in that mode, but what we're indicating here is that there's a bad circuit inside this box, okay? It's not a fuse problem. It's not a problem with the connection to the battery. It's just doing some funky stuff. Now, this started about a week after I got the charger, which was about five and a half weeks ago. Now, I'm going to turn this off because you don't actually want to do that. So, I was dealing with some old batteries, very old batteries, and I knew that I needed to change the batteries. So I just kind of assumed that I was having a problem with one of the batteries. I did the repair mode. They have a repair mode here. I did the repair mode and didn't fix anything. I didn't try switching connections to the other battery. I just knew the batteries were old. So I'm like, yeah, whatever. So I just switched out batteries. The problem is, it didn't do anything. That is connected to new batteries, and what it's doing is giving me the error. So I contact customer service because I can't figure out what this blinky light means, and customer service is like, oh yeah, do this. Yep, it looks like we have a problem with the unit, so we're gonna, I'll contact you via email with instructions. Well, okay, he does that. A day and a half later. Okay, so that's a day and a half later. Great. So, I'm sitting here, can't charge a battery because now I know I have a bad charger. And I'm on a boat. And I spent a significant amount of money on this thing. This is not cheap. But, it was cheaper than buying the two Victron units. The two Victron units to do the two batteries with the Bluetooth and everything, and buying the marine grade units. That was going to be about, $140 each. I don't know, $130 each. This was $150 total or something, whatever. I bought it direct from NOCO via eBay. They have their own store on eBay. They have their own store on a couple different sites. eBay was just the easiest one to do at the time. And so, eBay's return thing times out after 30 days, kind of like Amazon, right? So I can't just return it, exchange it. But I have an RMA. I get to send it back, and NOCO's going to fix it. Well, not exactly. So they sent me this RMA thing, but they want more information that they didn't ask for in the first place. What they asked for in the first place was proof of purchase, which I gave them. That's a screenshot of the eBay order from them directly, NOCO direct, and serial number, which is on the side, not the bottom. So I gave them that, Everything's great. I gave them a picture of the bottom. Just so they knew exactly what model it was. Great. Everything's going great. Except it took a day and a half. And, this is something this isn't in my garage for my winter motorcycle batteries. This is my battery charger. This is what I use. This is like my life. So, great. And they advertise that this is great for you, for your, they're trying to break into the boating market and stuff. Great. Fine. Fantastic. So now I get this back. They want more information. Great, blah. They'll still do an RMA. I have to pay. I have to box this up. And this is a brick, okay? This is not 6 ounces. So I have to box this up. I have to figure out how I want to send it. Find a box, get tape, do a label, and send it to Chandler, Arizona. That's their RMA center. That's fine. At which point in time, they will unbox it, contact me to tell me that they got it, take 1 to 3 weeks to analyze and make sure that I have not been a bad boy and opened it up or anything. I haven't. And then they may decide to repair or replace the unit. So in a month or a month and a half, I may have a battery charger for the boat that I live on. Now, if I'd bought the Victron units, it would have cost more money, and I wasn't ready to replace the batteries yet. And so I hurried on replacing the batteries because of this error, and it's a whole mess with cash flow. So if I'd got the Victron, I would have had the Bluetooth connection. I would know what's going on. I'd have more than a couple little lights. I could go into the app and be like, oh, hey. And I could switch, which battery bank is being charged. I could do some stuff, okay? I can't do that on this. And if I had the Victrons, I would have the unit replaced within probably 96 hours. I've dealt with Victron before. I've dealt with stuff going bad before. It happens. You deal with enough stuff, you do. I've helped other people with Victron stuff on their boats, and that's specifically what I'm talking about. Is I've installed some stuff that went bad, and I tell them, call this number, do this, get it right away. I've even done it with AGM batteries. I had a friend with an AGM battery, and the AGM, one of the cells went bad, and the battery swelled up and everything, and it's an 8D battery, and it weighs 300 pounds. Well, 100 pounds, and it was a nightmare to move, but we got them. He was 3 days inside his warranty, so I made him call right away, and they put that thing on a truck, and they trucked it to him, and then we returned the old one, right? Like this was we sent all the information, serial number, showed pictures, showed voltage, like we proved that the thing was having an issue. We didn't just call up and be like, hey, send us a battery, we're random strangers on the internet. We did the thing, and we got it. And then we returned the old one, and it was lightning fast for what it was, considering it's a freight battery. It was 72 hours. This is what I expect from Victron. NOCO, I don't know, man. I'm gonna go ahead and do the RMA. I'm outside the return window, and then, I'm gonna get probably a brand new one in the box and whatever. But can I trust this? Can I trust the company? Is the question. Like, I'm sure the next one I get is gonna last for 4 years. It's a great sealed unit. The design and everything is great. It doesn't have Bluetooth. It won't talk to me. I can't tell what's going on. The manual is made for dumb people who won't read a manual, and it doesn't give you enough information to actually, do the things you want to do with your battery charger. So I don't know. I saved a little money for something that's supposed to be start batteries, not house batteries. This is just keeping the start batteries topped off for 2 engines. That's all this is for. And I can't trust the company to keep me going. I now have to go grab a cheap Walmart battery charger to keep things going while I wait for the RMA process. So, I love their design. I've used a couple of their chargers. I think they're doing a great job with marketing and packaging, and there's something to be said for a simple charger that just charges. But you can't rely on them. You can't say, hey, this broke, I'm down, I can't do the things I want to do. This is a great charger. If you have 3 or 4 of them in your garage for all of your power toys, and if one breaks, it doesn't matter. You just go go to Walmart or West Marine or Bass Pro Shops or wherever you're going and get a new one. But a month and a half to get my batteries topped off, I can't do that. So that is, that's your sideways for today. This was a technical video, but I think it's important for people to understand sometimes that, some companies do a really good job. Some companies charge a little more. Some companies do a really good job and charge more. The NOCO charges more than the average black box battery charger at like Walmart or West Marine. But they're not cruising rated. The company itself is not cruising rated. That's kind of the only thing I can say at this point. I can't rely on them to stand behind their product in a fashion that will allow me to leave the dock. That's all. So pay attention to that, because you got to know these things, and stay sideways.